Well, hi everyone, Michael Faust here. Great to have you on this Zoom today. This is the first Zoom that I have done about BioLimitless. We're in a very exciting time. We're in the final bit more than 48 hours left of blockchain sports, and then moving into this next chapter. So I hope today gives you some, as far as some clarity on where we're heading and why I'm so excited. So let me share a screen and let's get underway. So as I said, we're always focusing on the fact that we are exploring the world of limitless possibilities, and this next chapter is just another layer of exactly that. So it's important to understand that BioLimitless is the next standalone project offered to the limitless community. BioLimitless was not created by Limitless, just like blockchain sports was not created by Limitless, just like Daisy AI Endertech was not created by Limitless. Limitless is the independent crowdfunding community that we get an opportunity to be the funders of these groundbreaking startup projects. So BioLimitless is the next project, and there'll be more and more projects to follow. The Limitless community that you created with projects like blockchain sports and the previous project follows you into BioLimitless. So the actual community that you are building through these projects is basically ensuring that every time a new project starts, you're starting further ahead than somebody who's coming in brand new. And that's why we keep emphasizing that you should always maximize every opportunity in each project so you get a first mover advantage in the next project. And as you may be aware, you should be aware that BioLimitless is launching in Las Vegas on August 17, this coming weekend. So on Saturday, there'll be the big fanfare event. And but there's already been a lot of events. I went to one of those in Tokyo back in June, where we had a private leaders meeting with Dr. Eric Naputi and had 5 hours of insightful information into this project. I actually come from a health and wellness background. I grew up with a mother who in Australia was actually one of the pioneers of the organic movement. I was growing up in my teenage years playing sport, taking health products back in the 70s, eating wholemeal bread, growing organic produce in my backyard, selling it to my neighbors, taking actual health products to enhance my sporting performance. So I was a very early adopter in health and wellness. And I would say at 61 years of age, it's certainly paid dividends focusing on health. Which brings me to this topic that we're going to talk about two things: money and health. I ran a health practice for a number of years in my 20s, and I was able to help a lot of people enjoy better health. But I also realized that at the root of many people's health condition was all the stress and the other issues that came about through lack of money. And that's why I was really excited to move into this home-based business industry where I could bring them solutions for the health, but I could actually address the root cause of their issues. Because I know better than most through personal experience that you need money and time to enjoy optimal health. If you want to buy the best organic fruit and vegetables and produce, the best quality seafood and meat, or whatever actually dietary regime you're into, health products, massages, any advanced type of therapies that are out there, whatever it is you're into, you need to have the time, like going to the gym, the time. And all of these things cost money. So it's all very well to tell people what they should be doing in terms of their health, but most people aren't able to optimize their health because of a lack of money and time. So we need to address that as well if we're going to be serious about reaching our optimal level of health. I'm as I said, 61 years of age. I'm in the third trimester of my life. Those who are mothers will understand, the actual 3 trimesters of pregnancy. And the final trimester is where you get to the end, where you have the baby. And basically, I'm at that stage where I want to make sure that I extend my trimester as long as I possibly can in my last chapter of life. And I want to enhance the quality of my health as well. And that's why I'm pleased that I put a lot of work into getting a situation where I did have the money and the time to do exactly that. BioLimitless offers you better health and an opportunity to make more money to free up more time. Because if you want to have more time, you've got to either replace your current income or basically have enough money to leverage other people, whether that's a yoga teacher, as far as a personal trainer, your own personal chef. There's lots of ways you can really optimize your health to the ultimate level. If you are making 20, 30, 40, $50,000 a month, you may start to consider whether you have a personal chef. Maybe you're not good at cooking and you'd like to have someone who's actually preparing the best food for your time, a personal trainer and a yoga teacher or a stretching person who could help you get the best out of your body to perform at optimal level. Money and time does impact our well-being. And our motto behind BioLimitless is self-care is the new healthcare. This is not about going to take products to fix disease. It's about how can I have the tools that I need to take self-care so that I have good healthcare. Because I realized that too as a naturopath when I was treating people, that I wasn't giving them actual pharmaceuticals, but in a lot of ways, I was just giving them natural products through health supplements and herbal tinctures and the rest of it that was simply putting a natural band-aid on a lot of the symptoms. And really, the way to have optimal health and be free of disease is to focus on optimal health, all the things from exercise, diet, proper sleep, everything else. So our health. The health area we're going to focus on with BioLimitless is, one, DNA and wellness testing to understand your health profile. Because up until now, it's sort of been a bit of a one-size-fits-all. We have lots of different types of diets or the magic health product that comes out that's going to make you be at your peak and get rid of all ailments. But now we're being much more scientific, and we've learned that through actually blockchain sports, through doing DNA testing and brain scans on athletes, how we can look inside them and see where they're at risk of different disease, different types of injuries, and how do we help them avoid that and actually recover better and extend their actually playing career. And one of the first comments that came back to me when I was in Dubai back in February from a lot of people was, well, what about me? I may not be a professional football player, but I want to know how to live well and prosper, as Spock says from Star Trek. So, and I'm the same. And I had people said, it's interesting, I had some people said to me, if this was available to the public, I would build a clinic and offer these services. And what you're going to hear today is a realization of that very idea. So when we do our DNA test, we're going to have an app that will update your profile as science makes new discoveries. So as science gradually unravels what our different DNA do, you only do the DNA test once. It's like, I give the analogy of, it's like having a library and you've got 800,000 books in the library, each with their own language. And right now, we know how to interpret 350 of our DNA out of 800,000. But we take a screenshot of your library, we know everything that's in there and we know what they are. So as AI and science and scientists unlock the language of each of our DNA, we don't have to go back and do another test. We already have that record in the library. So we simply now can actually interpret the language of that additional DNA. So we've gone from 250 DNA in recent times up to now 350, and we'll get more and more as we go along. And we've got actually proprietary wellness products to optimize your wellness, not to cure your disease, but to optimize your wellness. And then on the financial side, we've got a crowdfund model where we're going to crowdfund hundreds of wellness centers. So you can have the self-testing kit to do your DNA and send it in and get your results. But how much better would it be to also walk into a wellness center in your local city or region and have an extensive range of other testing and have the ability to actually talk to health professionals who could guide you through? In addition, we're going to be offering different products that are based on our actual proprietary technologies. So we're going to have things like our own DNA self-testing kit and wellness products using peptide technology. Now, I'm not here today we spent 5 hours, Dr. Eric, and I've got a health background, but just do a Google search on peptides. It's all the rage. And in fact, the only way to get peptides into your body at the moment, because peptides are responsible for almost every function in the body, is through injection. So people are spending thousands and thousands of dollars to have peptide injections to improve their well-being. Because if you took it orally, our gastrointestinal acidity and everything would actually break it down and it wouldn't be absorbed into the body. So Dr. Eric has found a proprietary way to allow peptides through taking something orally and entering our bloodstream and getting the full benefit. So we're going to have a range of wellness products that are created to do exactly that. And we're going to roll them out in stages. So the first two will be to get a heavy load of peptides into your body, which can also help with stem cells and the rest of it, and gut health. And, your gut, all that bacteria, not the one that causes all your flatulence, but basically there's a lot of good and bad bacteria fighting all the time in your intestinal tract. But your intestinal tract bacteria is like your second brain. Now, if you go and do a Google search for Netflix and look at gut health, there's a great documentary which will talk about this and how your gut bacteria affects your hormonal balance, affects your mental state, affects your immune system, and many other areas of your health. And in the first week of March next year, our next Limitless event in Dubai, we're going to be rolling out more body-specific products. We're going to have products to help your brain function and your sexual function, and then many other areas that are very specific target areas for your well-being. Our self-testing kits will be able to test hundreds of thousands of DNA, and results will be actually cataloged and stored in that app. So you'll have an app you can put on your phone, download, and have all the information at your hands. And as I said, as we learn more, it'll update the app. Currently, science has unraveled about 350 what they call SNPs, SNPs, it's actually pronounced SNPs, to provide insights into what role. Every person on this Zoom today has different DNA. We're all very unique. We're moving away from this one-size-fits-all approach to healthcare and realizing that we can be much more targeted in how we approach enhancing our well-being and also dealing with disease that comes along as well. And that's it. Basically, all the information will be passed on to your app. Now, we're going to be crowdfunding what we call, BL stands for BioLimitless, Centers of Excellence. So rather than calling it a clinic, it's going to be a center of excellence. And I've put an acronym BLCOE. Bloco. I won't even try to pronounce that. Well, we'll see who pronounces it at the best end of the call. It's a crowdfund model used to allow the Limitless community to fund the creation of hundreds of wellness and testing centers around the world where people can go to a local clinic and have access to additional health tests and screening and health professionals. So not talking to an automated voice or an AI, but basically talk to real professionals. But we also do have our own AI as part of this. That's assessing all this data, that's looking at all the results that we actually gather from all the DNA testing. And that's also going to reveal a lot of information about future ways to enhance our wellness. Now, 50% of the profits of these centers of excellence will be distributed back to the Limitless community who decides to crowdfund these wellness centers. So you can just look at this from your own personal point of view, just use the products for your own well-being, or be part of the crowdfund. And remember, our whole goal with Limitless, if you really want to live your best life, is to have cash flow and assets. And this is another way to build another layer of cash flow, where 50% of the income from these centers of excellence was coming back to the community. And the other 50% of profits from that wellness center, from that center of excellence, will be used to create another center of excellence. So we're sort of getting 2 for 1. It's like going for a massage and getting 2 massages for the price of 1, or going to your favorite health smoothie place and getting 2 smoothies for the price of 1. It's on a much larger scale. We're building effectively 2 wellness centers for the 1 amount of money, and you get to share revenue off both of them. And as a result, the community ends up with 2 of these centers of excellence for each one that's created. This model is something that anybody can relate to, as every person understands the concept of a clinic, health testing, and wellness products, all making it easier to convey the message to a potential customer or contributor. You know, when we did our first project with AI and financial industry and cryptocurrency trading and Forex trading, it's a very niche market. If you walk down the street and knocked on 100 doors, you probably find that 98% of people have never actually traded anything, probably don't understand cryptocurrency, and have a very small concept of AI. But they understand about going to a doctor's surgery. They understand having a blood test. They understand these fundamentals of well-being. So introducing the concept of crowdfunding wellness centers, bringing health and wellness products, testing people, and being more targeted in how we approach their optimal health is a concept that people are going to grasp very easily. So that's sort of the product side. I'm intentionally not going into the product in a huge way today, and I'll cover that more at the end as to why, because I come from a health professional background and I could tell you a lot of information. Dr. Eric shared hours of information, but I'm going to make sure that you understand how you can take advantage of this without having to know all that. And also, more information will come out, so I don't want to steal the thunder from this weekend. But let's look at the rewards plan. It's very similar to the current blockchain sports model, where you have a uni-level structure for the community, where your personal referrals are your first generation, their referrals are your second generation, and so on and so on. So there's infinite number of people per generation and potentially infinite number of levels or generations in depth. And you ultimately build your personal referral business volume, and you build the actual volume in your community as you duplicate. And the 50% rule applies to all qualifying. That means that half of the qualifying volume can't come from more than 1 person or 1 personal team. And you can maximize the rewards with just 2 teams, but I would not recommend you only focus on 2 people. I'd recommend you go for at least 5. We'll talk about that, because the more teams you have, the better. How do these payouts work? Well, when you refer somebody, you get paid that day. So if you have somebody who buys our products or a self-testing kit or puts money towards the crowdfund, that's actual commissions you're going to earn that day. And remember, we want to have the income to be able to help ourselves with these products, have our family on these products, and not be skipping if we need more of it to really achieve our optimal level of well-being. As I said, we want to get to a situation where money and time are not the things that prohibit us from experiencing good health. And for those who understand dynamic compression, it simply means that the rewards plan is going to not only pay you just on 10 levels, but it can potentially get you getting paid on a lot of generations of referral, because it's going to compress out all the unqualified people. So you could be paid on 20, 30, 50, 100 levels of referral. The first 7 generations are based on your monthly volume. So basically, you'll have people that will use the products for their gut health and use the peptides and ultimately use the products for their brain and they'll try different products in the range, and they'll consume those on a regular basis, because just like you need to exercise consistently to get a benefit, just like you need to eat healthy consistently to get a benefit, just like you need to work on your mental peace of mind to have a good level of mental health, having these products in your part of your actual regime monthly is what you want. So as you do that and you replicate that through your own actual community, you're going to create monthly volume. And the volume for qualification comes from product sales, not from the crowd fund, but from the product sales. And what you achieve in this month will basically qualify you for the following month. So if I achieve a certain level in this month of August or August, September, then in October, I'd be paid at that level. And the qualifications are going to range from starting around $2,000 worth of volume for the month up to $100,000. You'll get all the fine details and just sort of summarize things to do to unlock all 7 levels. The generations 8 to 10, because as you replicate bigger and bigger, your most amount of people are going to be somewhere between generations 5 to 10. This is based on your cumulative team volume. So you've got the monthly activity happening, but your total sales of products from your actual community is accumulating, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So when you reached 500,000 up to 2 million, that'll unlock. And once you unlock level generation 10, you are now qualified for life on all 10 generations. So what's your goal? When I start an opportunity, I always say, what do I need to do to unlock the full potential of the opportunity? Nobody starts a business or a revenue stream without trying to maximize the potential earnings. So your cumulative efforts, the accumulation, whether it takes you 1 month, 1 year, or 10 years, well, you're ultimately always heading towards an outcome where you are now qualified for the maximum earnings for life. Same again, we're going to have breakage pools, just 2 of them this time. They'll just be these breakage pools are paid monthly. And every month you unlock the generations, you qualify for the breakage pool. So the champion pool shares are based on you reaching generations 1 to 7. So each month you're qualifying, you get paid the breakage. The breakage is simply all the unpaid commissions that would normally roll up to the company. But in this situation, Limitless is distributing all of that funds that would normally go to them back to us, the community. And Legends pools are based on the earning. Those are based on you reaching the qualification for generations 8 to 10. 50% of the monthly breakage from the product sales is shared into both pools. So 50% to Champions pool, 50% to Legends. So Champion Legends pool shares are paid monthly. Legend pools are paid for 6 months. So if you requalify for new shares, all your old shares that are expired are renewed for another 6 months. So that's the beauty about this. So again, the accumulation of your efforts is ultimately going to turbocharge your future income. And again, we'll go into more details. I just want to give you a general insight. We're going to have what we call an elite equity bonus pool. And the revenue from this is 5% from all of the product sales globally, and 2% of all the crowdfund license fees go into this. And once you accumulate 5 million in cumulative volume, you'll qualify for 12 consecutive months of payout. And if you accumulate another 5 million, all the previous shares that are expired will renew for another 12 months, as well as the new ones you create. So if I created another new share and my old share had expired, my old share renews and I've got 2 shares now. The volume is from the crowdfund, the licenses, the DNA test, and the product sales. The crowdfunding. This is not the person, I'm not the CJ. I always had to find a photo of somebody who looked like they were a medical practitioner. But Dr. CJ is going to be speaking at the Vegas event this week, and he's helped to open up 60,000 wellness centers around the world in his lifetime career. He was formerly president of the International Chiropractic Association. Dr. Eric Deputy has also owned 30 of his own clinics personally in his lifetime. And they were saying that the average wellness center generates between $5 and $10 million per year in revenue. So basically 50% of that comes back to the community, and the other 50% funds another center of excellence. So this is a lifetime equity model. Once we set up a wellness center, as long as it continues to generate revenue, and of course, the bigger the actual community gets, the more people are going there to have testing, the more people are seeing the health professionals, there's more revenue being generated, then that's an ongoing revenue stream. And of course, there is potential at some point in the future for that to become a public company and potentially room for an IPO. I'm not saying there is going to be one, but it makes sense that this model really becomes quite substantial, that there would be strong interest in creating a public company. And of course, you'd be an equity owner of that. That elite pool is a 10-level uni-level plan, and the breakage from that part of it goes into the champion and legends pool as well. Now, here's some interesting things. We have people out there in the marketplace who are very good influencers on YouTube, on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram, and other social platforms. They've got a large base of followers, maybe thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, even millions of people who, if they say, look at something, they pay attention. So we've got an influencer model that allows them to promote and earn retail profits. So it's not part of our normal rewards plan, but 20% of all the sales they create goes into our rewards plan. So you might have this influencer out there who's got 5 million followers, and they start doing some posts and some stories and videos, etc., and some live streams, and they're moving hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of dollars worth of product. Well, guess what? 20% of that's coming back through the rewards plan and helping us as the community. We also have health professionals. They're not interested in getting into a normal rewards plan that we have with Limitless. They just want to be able to promote the benefits of our products to their clients. So again, we've got a model that's separate for them to allow them to promote our products and our testing and etc. But 20% of all their sales also comes back to us through the rewards plan. So that's exciting. We've got our own actual personal community that we're building, the normal model, and we've got another model for influencers and health professionals, which is also suiting their style of marketing, their style of how they interact with their customers, their patients, their clients, their followers, that doesn't send the wrong signal to their base of contacts. That suits them, but actually benefits us. Now, from August 17 to September 30 will be the first qualification period. So normally, a lot of these things would pay out. The qualifications will be based on a 1-month period, but we've got basically roughly a 45-day period. So anybody that you personally refer from when it goes live this weekend, that's what I'm the understanding, it will go live this weekend. Anybody you personally refer, that will get paid out. All the personal referral commissions will get paid out. But the qualifications for the level of generations and the bonus pools, the breakage pools, that will be determined on what you do between go live this weekend and the end of September. So what you achieve by the end of September will also be what you get paid for the full month of October. So the first generational and breakage pools payout will happen in the first week of October. So you'll be able to get paid on your direct referrals and their purchases, but on your actual community, you won't get your first payment from them until October, but it'll be a very healthy payout because all the effort that's gone in over that period. So what are you going to do? Do as much as you can. Now, behind the scenes, Limitless has been creating their own blockchain. As you know, we've been using as far as the Tron blockchain up until now, and we've sort of been at the mercy of other people's systems. So now we've got our own blockchain that will work with Tron and Ethereum and possibly more blockchains down the track. And we also use multiple wallets, so potentially MetaMask and TronLink and other types of wallets. And also, let's be honest, a lot of people coming into a project like this are not coming from a crypto background, not coming from a blockchain background. They really don't know anything about that, about exchanges, how to buy USDT. So what if you could onboard them easily in ways they're used to? Well, Privy is a new social media wallet account platform where you can go onto the website. It'll be interacting with our platform, and you'll be able to use your Instagram account, your Facebook account, your YouTube account, your TikTok account to create a wallet. It's a self-custody wallet where you own the private keys or the seed words. So it's a good quality wallet, but you can fund it with either normal crypto from an exchange or your own wallet, or use MoonPay and use PayPal, Google Pay, Apple Pay, Visa, and MasterCard, or even funds from your bank account. Now, obviously, it will differ from jurisdiction to jurisdiction, but we've got a much wider range of onboarding people with their existing social media account through a website and using methods of payment that they're very familiar with already. So that's going to make the whole onboarding process a hell of a lot easier. And again, we continue to use our smart contract model. And why do people who've been in industry really like our smart contract model? Because sadly, our industry has had a history in the normal traditional companies of a lot of special deals, where you don't know, but leaders are being paid money to be placed actually above organizations, get some special privilege. There's lots of deals under the table. Or they move genealogies in their actual structure and all sorts of stuff. Well, that can't happen because we've got a smart contract model where whatever goes into the genealogy structure, that's the way it stays forever, just like our existing limitless community can never be changed. Even if we don't like somebody, even if somebody does the wrong thing, we can't suspend them, we can't block an account. We can't do the things that historically have been actually abused by company management and owners, where they've gone in and blocked somebody's account because they disagree with the way they might have marketed another opportunity or where they promoted something. Yeah, should people be responsible and do the right thing? Absolutely. I'm a strong advocate of, act as a professional, don't do anything to damage the opportunity. But the beauty about a smart contract model is nothing can actually be manipulated, no under the table deals, and you can't take away somebody's privileges because you disagree with how they've done something. That's a big plus. A lot of leaders in the industry will see that as a huge positive. All the incoming funds are immediately allocated via a smart contract. So when you make a contribution to the crowdfund, or you buy a product or buy a self-testing kit, the revenue that comes in is immediately dispersed to the product actually producer or paid out to the crowdfund side of things. All the commissions are paid out. The allocation to run the operation is paid out. That's all done in a heartbeat. Nobody's playing around with the money. And all the payouts that are meant to be paid are executed by a smart contract. So they can't be altered or changed or played with. And the rewards plan can't be changed. So the breakage pool's guaranteeing that the full 45% of the revenue that's allocated to be paid out to the community is paid out in full. We talk a lot about disruption in this industry. And typically, you'll hear a lot of companies talk about disruption is about, we've got a new trinary, a binary, a hybrid. They talk about pay plans as a way of disrupting. Creating a new pay plan is not disruptive. Not at all. Pay plans can be copied in a heartbeat. You might come up with some new revolutionary idea. I can guarantee you, give it another month, there's technology people out there would have copied it and they'll be creating a better version again. Disruption is about changing the process of how an industry works. And Uber was a great example. We were using successfully taxis to get from A to B, but it wasn't a really good model. You didn't know what the price was going to be. You didn't know if one was actually available in your local area. You had to hope they turned up. You had to hope that the driver was actually a good driver and responsible. And what did Uber do? Well, they said you can actually look up the rating of this driver. You can actually approve or disapprove that, or accept or not approve or not accept the driver. You know exactly how long it's going to take for him to get to you. You know what the cost is going to be before you get in the car. You know how long it's going to take you to get there. You know at what time you should arrive, taking into account that they've already analyzed the traffic flow and the different routes you can get there. all that was done to make your experience better. And that's what we've done here, is by using our own smart contract technology, our own blockchain, new innovative payment solutions, we're disrupting an existing model. We're not creating a new model. We're just making it so much better. We're enhancing the processes and making sure the experience for both the product providers, the administration, and the people we're crowdfunding, and the community of us is the best experience possible. So I did have about 10 years in the wellness industry, marketing in the home-based industry, and I've got some insights I would like to share. When I started marketing health products, I would share a lot of information about health and wellness, and I would really impress people. And I had a good base of customers, and I was very successful in the early stages. But one of the things I observed was that people didn't duplicate. So I was constantly having to be there all the time to keep things moving. And I realized that people would say to me, well, it's okay for you, Michael. You're a health professional. Of course you can talk about health and wellness. But I don't have that qualification. I can't give that detailed 2-hour presentation. You can't replicate Dr. Eric Naputi, who spent 25, 30 years in his profession. So my first thing to say to you is, don't try and pretend to be a pseudo doctor, chiropractor, naturopath, and start diagnosing people's health conditions and think that you need to replicate Dr. Eric's knowledge. You're going to hear a lot of information, and I heard a lot of information in Tokyo, 4 hours of information. Yeah, a lot of it I already knew. A lot of it's very impressive, but I would never, ever, ever share it with other people. And in fact, when I intentionally did not give people myself, try to communicate the information myself, the detailed product knowledge, my business flourished. What I would do is say, watch this. Well, at that stage was back in the 90s. I'd say, listen to this audio cassette, watch this video, read this booklet. It'll do the talking for you. See, anybody can point people to a resource if they need more information. And we're in the age of the internet with YouTube and Netflix and with documentaries and all the abundance of information. There's lots of information out there, but don't be the one, even if you are qualified, even if you are maybe a health professional, a nurse, you come from a sports background, maybe you've been a health enthusiast, avoid the temptation of being a pseudo doctor and trying to explain all the technicalities of these products. It's about wellness, not disease. Not only that, if you want to get in trouble with the government authorities and you want to put the opportunity in jeopardy, go and start talking about these products going to help people with their disease. Don't do that. These products aren't meant to treat disease. They're there to help you get well. And when you have optimal level of wellness, disease doesn't exist. But I'm still a believer of both sides of the medicine. If I'm in a car accident, don't start making carrot juice. Get me to the hospital, get me to the surgeon, patch me up. I had some sun cancer spots on my shoulder and my chest recently, and I used a medical cream that helped to react with the precancerous cells, and it brought it all to the surface. And in fact, my whole neckline and up the side of my neck and everything was looking like a swarm of wasps had actually attacked me. But I used that medical treatment to help bring a result quickly. I've been using natural products. I stopped using that cream about 10 days ago, 12 days ago. I've been using natural products to help with the healing process, and you'll be blown away. It's almost gone. I mean, it was really red and angry and scabby all over under my shirt, and now it's almost gone. There is a place for both. There's a place for natural products and there's a place for Western medicine. And if people ask me how the products work, this is what you do. You take off the lid, you count the required number of capsules you're supposed to take, you get your favorite beverage, you put them in your mouth, you drink, you put the lid back on, and you repeat, depending on how many times a day it recommends. That's how the product works. You consume them, because my experience is going to be unique to me and not your experience. And I don't say that to be sarcastic. I'm just guiding you that that is how you should recommend these products. Don't try and be some expert, because tell me, I'll tell you what will happen. It's like the fastest gun in the West. You start giving people all this health information, and you're going to come across somebody who's going to shoot you down and leave you in an actual pile of flames, because they know a lot more than you, or they're going to embarrass you. Don't do that. Don't get into trying to diagnose people. Just focus on wellness, consume the products, people replicate. Everyone's experience will be unique. And I would also say this. I know on this call, or people listening to the recording, are going to be saying, oh, Michael's talking a lot about the rewards plan and about money, but I already prefaced this. Let's be adults, and let's be brutally honest with each other. Would you have a better level of health if you had more time and you had more money? On the reactions tab, give me a reaction. Would you have a better level of health if you had more time and more money to buy the best health, the best food, to have time for the gym, the time to yoga, or whatever it is you're into? Have the best health products, access to the best health professionals to guide you? Of course you would. And your best life needs money and time. Maybe your goal is you want to have all the nice things of life, but if you don't have your health, so what? What's the point? You ask anybody in a health crisis who's really rich, and they'll give away everything they've got to have their health back. So you need money to have good health. You need money for your best life. And you need to be a good money manager, and you need to create multiple passive income streams so you can ultimately have your time under your control. And you need to learn to be a good community builder, not a good network marketer, not a good pay plan expert, not a good product expert. Just learn to build communities. And communities are built on trust and rapport, having conversations with people where you genuinely care about them. Your focus is on them, not on you, on their best outcomes, not your best outcomes. If you learn to master that, learn to manage your money, create multiple passive streams of income, and have access to the best healthcare, you're going to live an incredible life. What's the community building strategy? I would personally recommend aim for a minimum of 5 personal referrals. And I'm talking about people who not only are just going to consume the products, but actually would like to share it. And listen to my language I'm using. I'm not looking to sponsor network marketers. Some of you you can't help yourself. You've been in the industry so long that you would say, oh, I don't need to sponsor people. I need to find network marketers. I need to find business builders. No, I want to share this with people, to find 5 people who want to bring awareness of this project to other people to help them get a good outcome. Choose your language wisely to get the best reaction. Words matter, and the wrong use of words will send people running versus sending people running towards you to want to be involved. So choose your words carefully. I'm just bringing awareness of the project. I have no emotional attachment to what they do, but I'm going to make them aware. I'm going to give them the opportunity. I care enough about them, and I credit them with enough intelligence to make their own decisions. Stop thinking that you need to make decisions for other people, that you know better than them, that you need to tell them what to do, or you don't think they're worthy of the information, or not able to make an informed decision. So look for product consumers, look for community builders. And remember this, you only get one chance to write your first 90-day story. Why do I say that? Because maybe you didn't get into blockchain sports seriously. Maybe you didn't get into the original Daisy product seriously. Maybe you didn't know about it. This is your first look at being involved with Limitless. Well, what I would say to you is the story you create in your first 90 days is the story you'll carry that you can use for life. I've got some great stories of how I started projects making 6- and 7-figure incomes in the first day, in the first 90 days. And I can use those stories forever. So think about this. If you're going to do this, do it properly. Go all out until the end of September to create your first 45-day story, but ultimately work towards a 90-day story, and you'll be amazed what can happen. So, folks, please happy share some reactions on the reaction tab if you enjoyed today's presentation. We got some good information out of this today. I will put the recording up after I edit out my son's phone call. But I hope you enjoyed today. I hope that gave you some insights. I don't want to share every fine detail today. That was not the intention, but I hope you got enough out of it to realize that there is substantial substance here, and it is an opportunity that it can be life-changing, and you get to decide. And maybe it's not for you, and that's okay as well. If you decide to go along with us, we welcome you to be part of this next project. Don't forget, Blockchain Sports, still 2 days left to go. It's still enough time to take advantage. Thanks, everyone. Have a fabulous day wherever you are in the world, and I'll talk to you again soon. Take care.